So karma or karma, how do I experience this? So, karma and karma, some people explain karma in rebirths, rather than reincarnation a little bit. That there's this fixed entity reincarnate all the time. There's like something fixed. And the Buddha, let's say Buddhism, like to call it rebirth. There's something is there and it just comes together, keep coming together again in next lives. So some people explain karma like that, maybe something simple. You're angry now, or some people are angry at you, and that's because you were angry at those people, exact people, and then that is your karma, and for this life. Or if you didn't sort of cause it. And you have a headache now, or you have a chronic migraine, because in the last, past lives you have been hitting someone on the head or something. This could be true, but sometimes people explain karma like that. Or you can explain karma like, because I was so nasty to someone else, and that's why the people are nasty to me now, or some people. Or I've been very good as a person to all these people or all these things, and I've been doing well, and that's why all these people are doing well to me. And then some people explain it like that when they try to explain why they're feeling so well or so bad. But then you also have situations whereby I've been doing always well. Why do I deserve all this unpleasantness? People explain, or he has been such a good person, living like such a good life, and because we in the monastery talk a lot about, or see a lot of people that passed away, and then you hear stories about it, and they feel like it's so unfair that such a good person had to suffer so long and so much in their lives at the end of their lives, And they were such a good person. Well, where's the good karma? So we explain karma a little bit in the sense of, this kind of credit system. We have a lot of credit with good karma, so we should have a lot of good things happening to us, and we haven't really make a lot of negative karma, no negative credits. So we should not get a lot out of there. Whereas I think karma is a bit more, first of all, it's kind of hard to understand, because according to the scriptures, no one can really understand the fully how karma works, only like a fully enlightened Buddha. But for me, karma, I find it more at ease with my own mind to understand things like on a shorter term, Like if I am angry now, I will be angry in the next moment and the next moment. And if I don't do something about it, or I don't understand it, it will persist until it stops. So you feel that whatever you do now has effect on the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. And for instance, some, what we have been taught here is like, look at your moods, or the thing you think about, how that persists throughout the days and weeks. Like if we go to bed with a relatively angry mind, it will remain rather angry, during your sleep or when you wake up. And if you think about the issue again, you become very angry again. And you are happy, and you go to bed happy, then the next day is most likely, it doesn't guarantee again, more likely that you become happy again. And sort of this kind of persistence throughout moments to moments of life that brings a connection point, like why are we like this? It's because of that. It's a bit like, why are you all here? Because for many days, many times, you've eaten something. And now you have a body consisting of everything you ate, let's say, and part of it that you've been given. And a combination of that makes you sit here. And that is because of many actions leading towards this. Am I able to speak some kind of an English? Because there was time in the past that I started learning and improving and learning more and more and more until I could speak it. Until I could sort of understand more and more of the language. And that's because of a certain past that is quite directly linked to activities in the past. So too, karma has this sense of continuity, that whatever we do, we will reap the fruits of it. I think it's very clear for people that are athletes, they are playing some kind of a sport, maybe not even a sport, like a skill, like any skill that we need to learn. If you see someone being very, a Rubik's Cube, for instance, you see these videos where they do like in a few seconds they are done. Most likely they're not born with that, they have learned that skill. So you have done something which leads to a continuation, and then you can do it. Similar, I would say, how I experienced karma. It's like I felt that a lot of things I did is how I have become the way I am. And in the past, I wasn't so aware of it, of this, let's say, how karma could be explained. I was thinking more about past life, current life, and when you meet a nice person, and I was like, oh, it must be my soulmate, from the past, we must have been knowing each other for many, lifetimes, and oh, we feel so good. But I always was looking for something, like I have experienced things in life, and you must have experienced in life, that you feel like, oh, why do I feel so upset now? Why feel I so unhappy about certain things? And then I could actually see that, when I grow up or read more about things and know more about things in life, basically, that there's a lot of actions that I do that I am not aware of, that sort of brought me suffering, basically, later on. Like, lying, like we all, I guess that we all lie in some shape or form, or in the past. And that, even though, people will ask you, oh, where were you? And you don't want to tell that person, there was a party that this person was not invited, or you met someone secretly and, parents should not find out, or anyway, anything you do, and then you end up not saying the truth, and not saying the truth has a certain effect. Whether we want it or not, it has an effect. And I cannot really explain what effect it is, but it could be, like things that I explain, you're afraid that people find out, you live in fear. And the worst thing is that when people do find out and they accuse you of it, that you're lying, or you say you were not there, or you said that you did this but you didn't do it, or you did it but you say you didn't, this kind of stuff. And you create all this kind of defense mechanism, you become unhappy, they found out, you feel it's unreasonable, and you didn't dare to say that actually this should have been done, that's why I'm doing it, but you don't dare to say it, but you just get into this kind of experience of unhappiness, like a very unhappy state of mind with people. And all because at the time we didn't say the truth. It leads to all kinds of problems in the end. And this may be just a negative example of something that we experience, and where I really see, oh, I have to hold myself accountable to things that I'm doing. So karma for me also means action-reaction. So if I don't prefer this kind of reaction in life, can I, or am I able to avoid that kind of action of mine in the past? So we very clearly quickly go into our own actions, what we do, what we say, and what we think. And that all have repercussions in the future. If we say nice things, most likely, it's not a guarantee, we'll meet people that will be pleasant to us. And if you have rough language or coarse language, often you will meet environments and situations and people that are also like that. And that does something to our mind and how we think. So that is karmic, let's say, that all the things that we do and think and say. So what I found in Buddhism is that the Buddha has taught us a moral standard, let's say. Like when I grew up, there was not really a moral standard. It was sort of assumed that you should not lie. Your parents will tell you, you should not lie. But then, of course, when you grow up, you find out that they are lying through their teeth as well for some things, Or good lies, like Santa Claus. We have a different kind of tradition in where I come from. But Santa Claus is like a major lie to all the kids, but it's a good one, that's okay. But there's also like smaller lies, like, when parents don't want to tell you something and they don't know how to say it, they will just tell you some kind of, story, to make a make-believe story that when you're small enough, then you believe in that kind of things. So you also grow up that, hey, people do lie about these things. But the Buddha actually explained to everyone, if you lie, or if you take things from what is not given, or, you stop people's lives or kill animals and stuff, you will experience the repercussion of it. And this can be explained in karma. Why are you experiencing this? Is because in the past something you have done could have led to it. And the Buddhas are actually explaining, like, if you do not wish to have that, you should stop doing these certain activities. And it's for us, ourselves, to find out what are the activities are connected. It's not that simple that if you're now angry, it's because you were angry in the past. No, there are things that we're not aware of, maybe, that we're doing. And there's actually where the practice of mindfulness awareness comes into place, to make us more aware of these activities. So, yeah, with karma, we also have more control, or let's say responsibility to our oneself. And that's, I think, what I personally liked about it, that it was explained in a way that I felt that I have more ownership, that I don't feel like victimized about life, that, oh, I'm so unhappy, life is so bad, and you sort of have this conspiracy theory about everyone is against you or something, or there's something happening against me. But you feel also more empowered to be able to influence what you can influence, your body, speech and mind, and that has direct effect on your next moment, or in your next day, or the next week, and the next month, and the next year. You could see really direct correlation between, if I stop doing certain things and continue doing other things, it will have clear effect of tomorrow to tomorrow, and the day later and the day later. So I felt the theory of karma very enlightening, basically, to feel that I feel more empowered than feel victimized by life. So that's how I would explain karma.